Hello everybody, it is Saturday and it is 9:49 a.m. and I got this offer from Uber Eats to go to the Juice Standard. I'm going to get $10.28 for 2.3 miles. And today is officially 15 days that I have been on the 16 8-hour fast. And so far, so good. I went to Jason's Deli yesterday for dinner and had a chicken pot pie soup. And it was delicious. And I don't think that's considered cheating on this diet because you're allowed to pretty much eat whatever you want. You just have to make sure you eat within your window and you only eat 3 meals a day. No snacking in between. So I started off in the morning, like at about 8:30 in the morning, and had my like egg whites, and I had I think it was a veggie burger with some avocado sauerkraut, and what else was in there? That was all that was in. That's all I can remember. And then I had some bone broth, chicken bone broth, and then a cup of coffee, and I think that was it. And usually when I have breakfast, I'm so full after eating it that I'm not even hungry for lunch, and that was the same thing that happened yesterday. I really wasn't hungry at all for lunch. And so once lunchtime came, which was at 12:30, then I had what did I have at lunchtime? I think I just had some soup. I had some soup, and then I was supposed to have a cup of coffee. It was soup with pinto beans in it, and I couldn't finish it. And I remember something was going on at home, and I ended up not even finishing my coffee. And I thought, well, I'll be able to have a nice satisfying meal at dinner time, because right now I can't eat. There's just too much going on. And then I didn't snack at all. And then dinner was at 4:30, and I had that chicken pot pie soup, which I inhaled it. I ate it real fast. And then when I had my coffee, I couldn't finish my coffee because there was too much going on at home. And for whatever reason, whenever I have stuff to do during mealtime, it distracts me from enjoying my meal, and then my appetite disappears. That's what's been happening lately. Is my appetite is being suppressed by these fasting periods, and it's not allowing me to stress eat like I normally would. Normally I would be totally pigging out from the stress of whatever's going on at home, trying to keep up with, with all the usual life things. But yep, it's all good. So we're here at the Juice Standard. I'm gonna park and we'll go on in. That's just drinks. I guess I'll put one on the floor. And I'll put one in the box. No problems with the pickup. It was being assembled when I went inside. There was another person in there sitting like they were waiting for an order. And in my order said it was just four shots, four something shots. So I thought that the order he was putting together, since it looked kind of, it looked large, like it was a big order, I thought it was for the other person that was sitting there waiting. So I kind of stood away from the counter until he finished helping her. But it turned out that the order with the 2 big bags was for me. So he brought it over to where I was standing. I'm like, oh, this is for me, okay. And I just said thank you and have a good day, and that was it, and got the heck out of there. Now we're going to be going 3 minutes, 0.9 miles. We're going to be going to a business. It's going to be a meet at the door. And I think that is it. Yeah, those are all the deets. And what's happening now at day 15 is I'm no longer hungry or no longer have a strong appetite during my eating window. And I don't have a strong appetite at night when I go to bed. But I do have a strong appetite when I wake up in the morning. And it increasingly gets stronger and stronger as I approach the window of time when the eating period begins, which is at 8:30. So usually by about 7 o'clock, I start feeling super hungry. And usually at that time, I try to distract myself by doing some type of physical activity, whether it's, chores around the house or going for a drive and running some errands and coming back, just something so that way I'm moving. And usually when you're moving, then you're not thinking about eating because you're focused on whatever task you've got to take care of. And so that's really the main thing I've noticed is the improvement in appetite control has been really good. I would say the only downside that I have experienced from doing it is that I don't find food to be as enjoyable as much as it's starting to feel like it's just fuel to fill up, to kind of gas up the tank and continue on. The lunch and dinner for some reason. Breakfast because I'm so hungry to eat that it is very enjoyable. So breakfast I find to be a 10 out of 10 in enjoyment. Lunch is more like a 5, and dinner time is about like a 7 to eat. And I still get a little bit of concern that I'm gonna want a dessert after I eat dinner, but it doesn't happen. For whatever reason, I don't have any room to have a dessert, and I have no desire for any sweets or anything. People have offered me sugar cookies, they've offered me slices of cake, and I haven't had any interest. I'm like, no thanks, I'm good. So it's been interesting to see this change, which hopefully I'll be able to continue it because it'll give me the results that I want, which is dropping the extra total of 20 pounds that I've been trying to lose, which I'm now down to 15 pounds that I have to lose. Last time I weighed myself. I'm going to be weighing myself again on Tuesday, and I should lose another 1 to 2 pounds after that. All right, we're here in the business complex where this drop-off is supposed to occur. And as I recall, let me see, I think they put the name of the business. Okay. It's some type of medical facility. Nobody's even here. It's a Saturday. I'm really surprised that anyone's working here today. It's a ghost town here in this medical complex. $18, 13 miles, Costco. No thanks. Alright, it's coming up on the left. I don't think I've ever been to this place before. $5.50, 3.3 miles. $8.07. Okay, I see it. Where is the door? I think the door is right here. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like the door. Well, let's drop it off. Hi, for Soraya. There's the other one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stop sending me stuff for 1 second. I've got to unpause my dash. Trip radar, $7, 11 miles. No. Drop off was easy, no problem. Just gonna start heading back towards home. There's this Costco order that keeps coming back in. I don't shop at Costco, it's too stressful. I don't like to do anything that's stressful for this job. I try to just think of this job as just something fun to do to get out of the house. Whew. Get me back to base. $6, 8 miles. And it looks like I should be, by the end of March or early April, I should have hit my goal. And I will have gone from 175 pounds, I should go down to 155 pounds. And that will be so surreal. I don't think I'm gonna have to buy new clothes or anything like that. $13, 8 miles. I don't think I'm gonna have to buy new clothes or anything, because I have lost weight so many times that I have different size clothes. I have medium size clothes for when I get down to that weight, and then I have my large size clothes for when I gain weight. $3, 2.6 miles. Because my whole life I've always tried to maintain my weight from high school, but I always go back, I always go on a sliding scale, plus or up or down, up to, gosh, I think this was the heaviest I ever got. I think, yeah, this is the heaviest I've ever got. The last time I was this heavy was probably in the year 2000, and what year was it? Was it 2003? $15, 10 miles. No, I think it was 2003 was the last time. Oh no, that's not true. I think I've swung now. This is my third swing. So the previous time would have had to have been around 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. Was the first time I hit a high number where I was much higher than 155 pounds. And then the time before that, I mean, maybe there was even more times, That's the thing about weight loss, is that it all becomes a big blur. You just remember you're heavy, you're not heavy. You're heavy, you're not heavy. You think you got it figured out, and you don't have it figured out. Now that I'm at this age where I'm already in my late 50s, I think I now have it figured out. And the only reason why I think I have it figured out is that I'm at an age now where if I don't have it figured out, I don't think I'll be here. So I don't think it will matter so much. Next up is coming from Uber Eats. We're gonna go to Press for Juice. I'm gonna get $9.66 for 4 miles. This one came in real quick after the other one. I was home for just a second. I put the TV on and I was watching some old shows, and then this came in, and I was a little bit reluctant to take it because I thought it was going to be a groundhog order. I thought it was that place we just went to for just like the juice standard, and I get them mixed up. So I'm like, well, at least this is a different place to go to. So it's Press for Juice, and I don't think it's going to be difficult, or it's not going to be a hard one. I think this one's going to be pretty simple. Knock on wood that it's going to be simple. And the weather today has been a little bit on the chilly side, but not freezing like the rest of the country. I think the high today is going to be in the 50s, and I guess most of the country right now this weekend, it's supposed to be freezing, snow and ice and all kinds of horrible weather that we're not going to be experiencing for some reason. And not that we've never had bad weather here, because we have. It's even snowed here before. I thought when I saw on the news that this big freeze was coming. I thought we were going to be included in it, but the forecast said no, that we weren't included. So we are going to be spared this round of freezing cold. Okay, we are here in the parking lot for Press for Juice. I just got to find a decent place to park. Normally there's a 15-minute parking spot open. Yeah, there's a couple of them here. Oh, it looks busy. There's people waiting. Arr. All right, let's go in. I jinxed myself. We're gonna be going 8 minutes, 2.8 miles to a house. Leave at the door. Please knock. You got it. It was a bit of a long wait. The order was not ready. There were a lot of people in there. Wow, there are people waiting for my parking spot. That's a shocker. It's so busy right now that people are so desperate for a spot, they'll take my 15-minute parking spot. I'm like, you can have it. I think I'll exit this way. I think this will make the most sense, I think. And there were a lot of people in there. It was very busy. And I think there was only one person working the counter and assembling the orders, so she didn't seem happy at all. When I walked in the door, she did her traditional greeting to me, and then as soon as I said the customer's name, God, nobody's taken that Costco order from the last time. It still keeps showing up in my on my app. You know, the one where I dropped off the previous order and I said Costco, I don't shop at Costco. That same order just came in again, only they were going to pay $1 more. Costco would be the worst place to go to right now on a Saturday. The absolute worst, because I mean it's 10:24 right now. At this time of the day, that place is a madhouse. Oh, it's got another Costco, $10, 11 miles. I would never, ever do a Costco order under any circumstances. Anytime I've ever gone to Costco, it's a madhouse. Any day of the week, any time of day, it's always packed. So I always decline them. It's kind of the same thing when I see Walmart offers. I just decline them. I just don't want to deal with that stress. I know that the Costco orders tend to pay really good money, especially like there's some YouTube channels that I watch where the people make a ton of money off of Costco orders, but they're shopping for so many items, and they have to take one of those flatbed carts and wheel it around the Costco, and that just doesn't interest me. I don't want to deal with that. Even the regular Albertsons orders where you just pick up the groceries from the store, I don't want to do those anymore either. Ever since they've required that you scan every single label on every bag that they give you, ever since then I have not wanted to do that kind of work anymore. And the reason why I don't want to do that one is because when it comes time to scanning the bags at the drop-off location, the bags are rarely at waist level. So you have to kind of either get on your knees to scan the bags, or you have to bend over to scan all the bags before you're out of there. And a lot of times you have to lift the bag and scan while you're bent over. And I don't want to hurt my back doing something like that, because I have hurt it in the past delivering that type of order. So I banned grocery pickup orders from my list of things to do. I still will do the shopping orders if it just says that I have to do shopping, but no, I'm not doing any more of those grocery pickups, even though they used to be so easy for me, because all I had to do was, transport. I'd pick them up, I'd put them in the car, I'd unload them and drop them off, I'd take a picture, and I would leave. And that made it where I could do it without too much worry about injuring my back. But not anymore, so I said goodbye to those. And did I say we're going to a house? Yeah, it's just a house, so it just should be an easy drop off. I don't know why it's taking me this way. This is a long way to go to get to this location. Oh well. It's too late now. I've already passed the shortcut. I should have looked closer at the map. So the key, I think, to this fasting is you have to make the items that you eat low in sugar and low in carbohydrate, and they have to be high in protein, and they can't be food items that are processed foods. So they have to be real food, not the kind of stuff that has like a million ingredients on it. So if I eat bread, I usually get like the Ezekiel bread, which is in the freezer section. It's not in the regular bread section. So it has minimal ingredients and it's more prone to spoiling. Even if I keep it in the refrigerator, it's only good for 2 weeks and then it spoils. And if I left it on the counter, it would spoil in 5 days. And that's how you know you're getting something that doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it, because it spoils quickly. And then of course I eat a lot of egg whites and avocado, and I have the bone broth. $5, 3.5 miles, no. And yeah, I think that's the secret, because then my body can more efficiently gain access to the nutrients and turn it into fuel to get through my day. And then by the time I'm fasting, my body is turning to the fat reserves in my body to look for energy there when I'm in my fasting mode and I'm not eating. So I think that's the way it works. At least that's what I remember them explaining it when I was watching some YouTube videos about this fasting strategy. Alright, I'm turning into the neighborhood. We're getting close. I think the only thing I've got to remember for this one is to knock on the door. And you're not going to see it on the video because I only use my phone to record video when I'm outside of the car. So once I've set the food down, I turn the camera off and I knock. I take a picture with my phone and then I knock. So that's why you rarely ever see me knocking at the door, or you never see me knock at the door unless it's like a meet at the door. Then I have the camera still going so you can see me hand the food over. There's that Costco order again. Okay, I think we're here. Looks like it's this house right here. I'll park it. We'll head on over. 643, 7.2 miles now. Come on, press reduce. Let's review. Oh. Well, that was easy. And the customer came out and got it, and yes, I did knock, and they seemed to be happy, which is great. $6.56, 2.4 miles. No thanks. My minimum right now is close to $10 right now because the weekend. $9.57, 11 miles now. How did I even get in here? Now I can't even remember how I got in here. Was it this street that I turned on? Yeah, maybe this one. I don't remember. I'm really turned around. I better use the navigation to get me out of here. Oh no, this is it right here. I'm good. How do I turn off my navigation? There. Alright. Back to base. $8, 5.2 miles. $6.80, 2.4 miles. I'll probably only do maybe one more, and then that's gonna do it. I'll be walking my dog pretty soon. I like to walk the dog at about 11:30, and then I guess if I feel like it, maybe I'll come back out and do some more. It just all depends on what's going on at home, how crazy it is. Lately, it's been real hectic at home. $10, 13 miles. It's been very chaotic. There's been a lot of activity. I can't go into detail because the family stuff is off limits for when I do when I talk on for my YouTube channel. So I always have to make everything focused on me and not on much else. And let's see, I've been eating a lot more fast food lately for dinner, but I've been trying to pick healthy things when I go out for fast food. $11, 12 miles. So when I go out to, like I went to Freddy's recently. That's a steak burger place. When I went to Freddy's, I just had a chicken sandwich instead of the usual steak burger and chocolate shake. And that seems to work out for me. And I only have to, you may not have to do anything like that, because you may be on the type of diet where you're not worried about certain things in your food. Like for me, I have to make sure everything is low in saturated fat. So I can't have ground beef because it's high in fat, or if I do, I can only have a little bit because it's really high in saturated fat. And the same thing with cheese. I can't have a lot of cheese. $5, 7 miles, because I can't have high saturated fat. So there's a lot more other things I have to worry about other than it being unprocessed. $7.80 for 3 miles. Nope. Yeah, it's a lot more of a, my eating habits have to be a lot more strict than most. I can't even have any butter, even though a lot of people are like, why can't you have butter? That's natural. It's like it has a lot of saturated fat, so I can't have that. I can have a lot of olive oil, which is unsaturated fat, so that's what I tend to use a lot on everything that I use. When I cook, I either use avocado oil or I use olive oil, and those sort of kill any cravings for anything fatty. Especially like when I have bread, before, if I craved having some bread, I would want butter on my bread. $9 to go to Costco, no. But now I don't, because I make that, like at Italian restaurants, they take the olive oil and they mix it with balsamic vinegar. That's what I've been doing lately. I've been making my own little Italian restaurant olive oil, balsamic vinegar dip, and I season it with a little salt and pepper, and it's great. It's like I'm eating at an Italian restaurant when I'm eating it, and I could actually have a lot of olive oil, like a quarter cup. $9.80, 3 miles, no, 2 places. Yeah, I can consume a lot of olive oil, and it helps my cholesterol levels tremendously, the HDL part. And I also, the calorie makeup, or how high the calories are in olive oil, is not that significant per tablespoon. So it doesn't put on any weight. I mean, I've been consistently doing that for the last 15 days, and my weight has only been decreasing. So I know that the olive oil is the right solution for me, for my situation. Next offer coming up is from Uber Eats. We're going to go to Rachel's Kitchen. I'm going to get $10.32 for 3.6 miles. Once again, it was Groundhog Day. I got home for all of about 60 seconds, and this offer came in. And so back I put on my shoes, back, I put on my hat and my jacket, and out the door I went. The loop on the back of my blue sneakers or tennis shoes tore. You know how it has the backs of tennis shoes? I don't know if all of them, but some of them have that looping, like a looping ribbon that you can grab onto to help to put your shoe on. Well, mine finally ripped. So now I have to, put my shoe on a different way rather than holding onto that loop, which is not that big of a deal, but these shoes are starting to get a little bit worn out. So I think it's almost time for me to switch my shoes. It's almost time to say goodbye to my blue sneakers. I don't know. I've never called my shoes sneakers. I always called them tennis shoes. Time to throw away these blue tennis shoes and put on, I don't know if that's a West Coast thing, that we call them tennis shoes. I don't know. And break out a new pair of shoes. So we'll see. I already have a couple of pairs of new tennis shoes that I can put on. So I will be doing that probably in the next week or so, because these ones are really starting to, look a little bit haggard in their, especially on the inside. I swear, the heel of one of them actually has a hole in it now. It's just the outside of the shoe looks fine though. It's just the inside looks terrible. Well, we're here in the district shopping center, and it's packed, of course, because it's nice weather today. I think I see, is that a spot? No, that's not a spot. I'm probably going to have to park in the back because it doesn't look like there's anything available here in the front. Yeah, doesn't look like I'm going to find anything here. So I'm going to have to do a bit of a walk. And let's see how parking is back here. Let's see if it's any worse. This is usually the last resort for parking. Yeah, I see plenty of parking spots. I'll just park it here and start walking. It's like easy money today. All last week I was barely clearing $20, and now I'm gonna hit 30, and after this one maybe I'll hit 40. Okay, we got everything in the car. I had no problems. The order was ready to go. Of course, I had to have this really long truck parked next to me the moment I'm backing up, which of course creates nothing but problems for me. But whatever, do what you gotta do. And of course I had to make that long walk, but I got that done. And this lady, she came out of the truck next to me at the last second, and she came around. It's like she must have got out of that truck next to me the moment that they pulled into the parking spot. Before he even put his truck into park, she must have jumped out. That's how fast she was suddenly around to the other side and trying to walk beside my car as I was backing up. So that was a little bit surprising as I backed up. Like, where's this lady come from? All of a sudden. We're going to be going 5 minutes, 2.3 miles. We're going to a house. It's going to be a leave at the door. Sometimes when you're driving, things will happen that you don't even expect to happen. You're like, where'd they come from? Or how did this happen? Like, literally, you're just by yourself 1 minute and there's nobody around. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's just a bunch of people. You're like, where did they come from? Oh, my goodness. When I take my dog for a walk, I don't have to worry anymore about her paws getting dirty. $6, 10 miles. I gave her a trimming on her lower part of her legs and her feet. Before I gave her the shaving on her legs and feet, had fur that was so fluffy at the bottom, it looked like she was wearing white, fluffy bedroom slippers when I took her for a walk. And they would get so black from walking her outside on the sidewalk, because the sidewalk has all these particles of not just dirt, but asphalt from the street. It gets so hot here in Vegas that the asphalt is always in a constant state of disintegration. So the wind blows the particles everywhere, and you'll see it on all the driveways here in Vegas, black tire marks. And no matter how hard people try to keep their driveway clean of track marks, they're there. The roads are just completely covered in a black powder, and that black powder just gets on everything. It's really bad, and there's not much you can do about it other than, take your shoes off before you go into your house is usually the best way to prevent your house from getting full of it. But now with me taking the dog for a walk regularly, the dog was tracking it in. I was even finding black little tiny paw prints around on the tile in the house. So I said, no, this can't happen anymore. So I shaved the fur, and now it's real easy to clean her paws. I just take a warm washcloth or a warm paper towel and wet it, and then I just sort of wipe the paws of the black, and then I take another piece of paper towel, and she's so small, I just use one paper towel, so it's like half of one paper towel's wet with warm water, and then the second half of the paper towel I use is dry, and I just dry off her paws. And that seems to do the trick. Before I shaved her, the black, you couldn't get it out. It would go deep into the fur. So no matter how hard I tried, the only way I could get it out is if I gave her a bath. So I said, this dog can't be having a bath every day. That's not going to be good for her. So this was the best solution. Someone in the house suggested I get her $14, 36 items, 7 miles now. Someone suggested I get her little shoes to wear, and maybe I'll consider that, like when we get closer to the summer. But her little feet are so small. I'm afraid I'm gonna break her feet if I try, putting shoes on her feet, because they're so small. They're like the size of my finger. So I'm just like, I just can't even imagine trying to like tie them and everything. The dog would get all freaked out, cause yeah, she's so fragile. But we'll see how that goes. All right, we're almost there, getting real close now. It's like the very next left, and we'll be good to go. And then I'll be $30 richer if all the tips come in. $30 richer, and maybe I'll be able to do one more. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. Alright, let's see here. Make a right. Is there any special delivery instructions? Nothing. Just a basic leave at the door. No special instructions. Alright, kids, stay on your side of the street. They're playing soccer in the road. I think it's going to be the house straight ahead, if I'm not mistaken. They're the ones that always order the most. That and this one on the right. No, it's the one straight ahead. Alright, let's do this. Come on, Rachel's Kitchen. Where's that table? I usually leave it on a table. There it is. Another easy delivery. 3 in a row have been easy. The hardest ones to do are the shopping ones, for obvious reasons. They are so difficult. $8, 4.7 miles, no. It's usually the shopping orders or those restaurants with the bars or whatever. Oh, there are those kids again. Playing soccer in the street, not looking. Gotta make sure they don't suddenly turn around on me and get run down. Yeah, it's usually shopping orders that are hard, and then it's usually places where the restaurants are real popular and they're packed are the ones that give me problems. Or the ones where their food takes a long time to cook. Like, for example, Popeyes, the Popeyes place with their fried chicken. They're always out of chicken. They're trying to keep up with the demand because so many people are ordering their chicken and it takes so long to cook that it just takes a long time. So places like that, I don't find the $8, 15 miles. I don't find the drugstores to be that difficult. CVS, Walgreens, those are not difficult because the stores are small. So as you're trying to go back and forth finding stuff, it's not a lot of steps to get where you need to get to. But you go into those supermarkets and you're going from one side to the other side, and then they suddenly want to add something to the order, and you got to go all the way back to the clear other. Oh, it's a lot of walking, and it eats up a lot of time. So those are the ones that I really don't like. Oh, someone sent me a $13.09 tip. Nice. I don't recall anybody offering that much money. It must be from the first one. Oh, you guys have already seen it, because when I show you guys the earnings at the drop-offs, that's the actual earnings with the finalized tip. And while I'm driving, I'm not seeing that yet, because it takes an hour before I see the actual tip that came in. Yeah, I have enough time to do one more if something comes in. Lately, I've only been doing 2 deliveries per day because there just hasn't been that much work. But for whatever reason, today's a day everybody feels like spending money. And I thought in January, normally for the entire month, it's always super slow. But I guess it's just hit or miss. It just depends on how many delivery drivers feel like working today and how many customers feel like using the service. So that's kind of what it's all based on. I'm sure a lot of people don't feel like working today. They said in the weather that there was a chance of rain today. $7, 15 miles. It was like a 10% chance of rain today, and then we're supposed to get gusty winds coming out of the north, which I think those are considered to be cold winds. I think if they come from the north. So I think that might have kept a lot of people in because of their, they might have allergies or whatever. Oh, well, so far so good. All of these orders have been super easy, so I still have energy to keep going. And I'll walk the dog at 11:30 unless the dog ignores me. That's always a sign that the dog's not ready to walk yet. But if I get home and the dog starts staring me down and gets up and starts going in circles and basically starts communicating with me to take her for a walk, then I'll walk. $10, 8 miles. Then I'll take her for a walk and get that out of the way. Maybe I'll be able to show you guys the walk a little bit if I remember. $5, 10 miles. Oh boy. And there's not that much going on $12, 20 miles. No, thank you. Yeah, there's not that much else going on at the moment that's too exciting or even remotely interesting. I really just have been, every day it's like 16-8 diet, fast, eat in your window time, get your weight down. That's just been it for me every single day. And that's how it's going to be for the next 60 to 90 days. And that's sort of that's going to be the topic of my videos pretty much until that time, because that is all on my mind. Because, you know, it's such an important goal for me to achieve. Not for aesthetic reasons, not for my physical appearance, but for my health. So I have, you know, a healthy long life, and I don't end up having, you know, a stroke or heart attack or going blind or who knows what else could happen. $7, 7.6 miles. No. So that way nothing bad happens. I don't have permanent damage that debilitates me. $12.49, 13 miles. And that's why it's so important and why I'm talking so much about it and using my channel to motivate myself. Now, if you find it to be motivating, that's awesome, but I'm really doing this for myself, so that way I stick to the diet and I have accountability to myself that I am staying on track. So that way I have a greater chance that I will be successful in losing the weight and continuing to be healthy. Next one up is going to be coming from DoorDash. I'm going to go to Target and shop for 5 items. I'm going to get $10.50 for 3.4 miles. Well, another easy one, I think, based on the tiny number of items and the short number of miles. So this one doesn't look like it's going to be hard. The only thing that could make it difficult is if the items aren't in stock or if it's related to clothes, because clothes are very hard to shop for. So that could be the only problem. I think the app will let me see what I'm shopping for. Let me see if I can take a peek. It looks like I'm shopping for food, and I'm also shopping for, they're just pictures, so it's either, maybe it's lotion or hair care products, or either skin care or hair care products, and I think the other 2 items are like candy, I think. So we'll find out once I get to the store. But yeah, so far so good. And I was going to stop delivering and walk the dog when I got home, but once I walked in the door, I saw the dog fast asleep. So I figured, well, the dog's still sleeping, so I still have more time to make some cash. So I just put on the TV for about 60 seconds, and then this offer came in. There was another offer that came in that I was tempted to take. It was another $10 order to go to Papa John's, and the miles were really low, but it was to drop off at a casino. And if you've ever dropped off at a casino, you know it can be sometimes really difficult if the customer doesn't show up right at the lobby area to just hand it to them. Sometimes they want it delivered to their room, and they don't allow delivery drivers to go up to the rooms, and the customers don't know that, so they just make it real difficult. So I'm glad I didn't take that one. And then there was a shopping order for $15, shopping for like 18 items, and the miles were like 7 miles, I think. And that was just too many items to shop for. I try to shop for like, I don't know, under 10, like 8 or 9 items at the most, and just keep it real simple like that. So I declined that one as well. So it looks like the items that I'm shopping for is a cleansing wash, some body mist, and it looks like 2 different kinds of candy. They added an item, and another fragrance mist. So I don't think those are going to be difficult. I think that's going to be pretty simple. And why are we stuck here? Oh, this guy's making a left and this lady's trying to cross. So yeah, it should be just fine. Oh, they're also having a pet adoption event, it looks like. Looks like there's a lot going on over here today. Wow, they have a big turnout for the adoption event. Gotta really make sure I don't run anybody over. Wow, look at all these animals and people. Is this lady gonna cross? Yep. It's a busy weekend. Everybody's out having a good time. I'm not sure if it's just meant to be a place where people hang out to have fun, or if they're actually adopting animals. I don't know. I can't really figure it out. Alright, we're here at Target. I'm just gonna park here on the left, I think, by this giant truck and start the shopping. I'm having a hard time finding the fragrance mist. They said it was in the women's section, like on an end cap. I don't see anything. So I may just mark it as they don't have it because I'm not having any luck. Alright, so they said it's gonna be by the swimsuits near the jewelry. So let's see if they're correct. I see the swimsuits. I don't see jewelry. Maybe it's somewhere in all this junk over here? Okay, I did find it. It was in here in this end cap. And there was only one left and one open one. So, yeah, it was in this little kiosk thing. Let's move on to the next stuff. My luck has run out. I've been in here for quite some time now, so much for my winning luck streak of everything being easy. This one has been really tough. 31. Alright, here we are. Let's see if it's, I think once again it's not marked correctly. I found the last one. And this crystal jewel thing, that was actually, it was where they said it was, at an end cap. Checkout time. Oh, it's getting windy. I felt like I was in there for a super long time. Let's go drop this off. Wow, that was hard. How could 5 items be so difficult? We are going to be going 8 minutes, 2.1 miles. We're going to be going to a house. I believe it's a leave at the door, and they said no bell, please. Wow, that was crazy busy. Crazy difficult. I suppose what really messed me up in doing this one was the aisle number that they gave. It was GW1. And there are no aisles called GW1. They're usually a single digit letter and then a number. And I guess when you get a 2-digit letter, it means it's some type of display in the middle of the main aisles somewhere. But I don't know what GW stands for. So I had to ask an employee. They directed me just in general to the women's clothing, and they said it would be in the middle of an aisle, like its own little display. So, but they didn't. But the women's clothing section is huge. There's so many. They have so much stuff for that section. So I didn't know exactly what to do. I'm like, I kept like wandering the perimeter of the women's clothing section, trying to find it without any success. The first thing that I landed on was this Valentine's Day little stand or booth that had all kinds of Valentine's Day stuff in it. And I didn't see it. I'm like, all I see is like candy, and I see perfume, but I didn't see the thing that I needed in the DoorDash app. So I think what I decided was that it wasn't there, so I just moved on. Well, it turns out it was there, but they only had 2 left, and it was at a lower shelf, and they were knocked over, so they were not standing up. They were not easy to spot. So I went to another lady who was in another part of the store, because I was just wandering aimlessly and ready to give up. And she said it's over near the swimwear and the jewelry, so near the entrance to the store. So I said, I'm going to give it one more try. So I headed over there to near the entrance. I saw the bathing suits, and then I saw that same booth that I had already looked at and said it's not there. But I said, you know what, let me look really closely at the names of things on the price tags, because maybe it's out of stock. And that's when I saw it. And that ate up so much of my time, because it took me all the way back to the main entrance. And I was looking for it on the complete opposite side of Target, where they have all these beauty things like perfume and fake nails and eyelashes. So I walked across that store at least 5, maybe 6 times. I walked back and forth, and that ate up so much of my time to get this done. And when I had finally found it, the next item I had to get was back once again on the complete opposite side of the store. So I was over it. I'm like, this is, for 5 items, this is really taking me way too long to do. And I was really discouraged with this one. I'm sure I'm over even. It's supposed to take only like 28 minutes to complete, but I'm sure it's longer than that. So that was disappointing. But I did find everything. Checkout process was just fine. It was really crowded in there, though. There were a lot of people, because it's the weekend. A lot of people had their kids with them, so that made it difficult. And a lot of senior citizens were in there too for some reason. So it was a full house inside of Target today. And so I just tried to do the best I could to get it done as fast as I possibly could, with as little stress as possible. But my stress feels like right here right now. It feels up to my neck as I'm trying to de-stress from that event. And for most delivery drivers, that's just another day in the neighborhood. They're like, whatever. But for me, it's too much stress for me. Like, I'm trying to do this job as a little fun activity. So I'm purposely trying to select assignments that I think are going to be easy to complete, so I don't stress myself out. And this one I wasn't successful. I stressed myself out. But that's just the way it goes. Alright, I'm going to be making a right coming up, and we'll be in the neighborhood for the drop-off. I think I've been to this house. I think this is the house where I helped somebody with their water softener, and they paid me $20 one time. Oh no, it's a totally different place. Is this it? No. Is this it? No. Oh, it's right here. Their door is wide open. Fantastic. Just what I want. I want your door to be wide open. I need to turn around. There's no parking on this side. It's really busy at this particular house. Okay, I'm just going to stop here and we'll get it done. Come on, Target. Let's drop you off. I'm just going to set it at the door, even though they have their door wide open. They were having some kind of construction work done on their house, and so those were like some workers, taking care of the house, and then I tried to put the delivery bag or the Target order where they wouldn't trip on it. So hopefully that worked out. And I made sure not to make eye contact with anybody so I could just set it down and go. Alright, now I'm going to make my way back. Maybe I'll get one more. It's already 12. Oh no, I have to eat lunch. I'm supposed to eat lunch at 12:30. So that is going to do it. Turn it off. There's no more fun today, everybody. Off we go. N dash. I'm out of time. I've got to walk the dog after I have my lunch. And the moment I start cooking my lunch, the dog's going to go crazy. And I'll probably end up having to take the dog for a walk before I actually have my lunch. So it'll be a little bit late for my lunch. But I've got to make sure I also take care of the dog. So this is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit like. And if you enjoy watching delivery drivers talk about their health and about watching their weight and being on a fasting diet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because you don't want to miss it when I finally lose those 20 pounds. You'll probably see me. I'll look like a completely different person than what you're seeing today. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.